Welcome to class 11 students. This is the continuation part of the chapter chemical constituents of living cell. I have in my previous video I have discussed with you about the Michaelis-Menten constant, and after that I also did a little bit of allosterism. I have previously also I have in the initial videos I have also discussed what is allosterism or allosteric site or allosteric enzyme. To give a recap, the allosteric site of an enzyme is one of the two principal sites of enzyme, and this is that site of the enzyme where any effector molecule comes and binds with the enzyme to bring about any change within the enzyme. Okay, any unfavorable or favorable change. Okay, now let's get into the details of allosterism so that you can understand the topic better. Okay, so this is the same picture that I showed you in the last video. This is about allosterism property of enzyme. To define allosterism, it is the property of that enzyme when an effector molecule, so what did I say what effector molecule was? It was any molecule that brought about any effect in the active site of the enzyme. So any molecule that binds in the allosteric site, here it is shown as an inhibitor, it can be inducer molecule as well. So any molecule that effector molecule that binds with the enzyme at the allosteric site and thus brings about any conformational change in the active site of the enzyme, which is the binding site of the enzyme with the substrate, and thus a favorable or unfavorable change takes place is known as an allosterism. A very good and easy definition of allosterism is given in your book. You can read that. Now after getting to know about allosterism, we are going to talk about the types of allosterism. Okay, so these are the two types of allosterism: allosteric inhibition, this one is allosteric inhibition and this one is allosteric activation. So allosteric inhibition is named as negative allosterism in your book, and allosteric activation is named as positive allosterism in your book. Okay, now let's concentrate on the first type, allosteric inhibition. So previously, before going into the details of the types, let me tell you that by the binding of the effector molecule, the inactive enzyme may be activated, or the activated enzyme may be inactivated. Okay, now according to this property, means previously I said that it may be favorable change or it may be an unfavorable change when an inducer molecule binds to it, binds at the substrate site or the allosteric site of the enzyme, it will be a favorable change, and if an inhibitor molecule binds with the allosteric site, then the change will be unfavorable. Now based on this property, there are two types of allosterism which I have told you already. I just told you on what it is based. Okay, so firstly talking about allosteric inhibition, which in your book is named as negative allosterism. Okay, I'm writing in short negative allosterism. Now what is negative allosterism? First I'll read from the book and then I'll explain. Okay, when an effector molecule or inhibitor binds with the enzyme, okay, the active site of the enzyme is changed so that the substrate cannot bind with the enzyme. So inhibitor, the term inhibitor itself means that it inhibits or stops or destroys something. So what will it destroy or what will it stop? First, this inhibitor will bind with the enzyme at the allosteric site, right? This is the allosteric site and it will bind with it, and then what will it do? It will change the active site of the enzyme in such a way that the enzyme is unable to bind with the substrate further. So previously look at the shapes of these two active sites and allosteric sites. firstly see that the inhibitor, the shape of the inhibitor is like this, and the allosteric site shape is also like this, so that the inhibitor can bind easily to the enzyme. Now look at the shape of the active site. The active site is shaped like this, and the substrate is also shaped like this. So previously, before the binding of the inhibitor, they were very much complementary to each other, right? But as soon as the inhibitor went to the allosteric site to bind with the enzyme here, what happened? The active site changed in such a way that the substrate could not bind to it anymore. Okay, can you see that? When as soon as the inhibitor got attached to the enzyme, the shape of the active site became from this altered C to this type of shape. Okay, and obviously if the shape is like this, the substrate will not bind here, it will not bind here. Okay, you can see it written as altered active site. Okay, so this is basically the negative allosterism. The inhibitor is getting bound to the allosteric site, and it is bringing about an unfavorable change for the enzyme, which doesn't let the substrate to bind with the enzyme. The next type is the allosteric activation, whose other name in your book is written as positive allosterism. Positive allosterism. Now first, reading from your book, what is positive allosterism? When an effector molecule or inducer or activator also you can say. So when an effector molecule or inducer or activator binds with an enzyme in such a way that the active site of the enzyme is changed in favor of binding of a substrate with the enzyme, is known as positive allosterism. So previously what happened, the shape of the active site was like this. Okay, now it will change again so that the substrate can bind. So how will it change? When an activator or an inducer molecule will come and bind to the allosteric site of the enzyme, this shape will change to this shape so that the substrate can bind to the enzyme. Okay, so these are the two types of allosterism: positive allosterism or allosteric activation, meaning it is a favorable change for the enzyme. On the other hand, the second type is allosteric inhibition or negative allosterism, where the binding of an inhibitor molecule doesn't let the enzyme bind to the substrate. Okay, so after these types of allosterism, you will have to read the differences between positive and negative allosterism. They are in your book only. They are very, very important, and just go through them. Okay, and the next thing that we are going to do is the factors which regulate enzyme action. I will start that in the next video. Okay.